but I've learned a great deal about it over the last 12 months. We managed to get a bit of press for this, so Harriet, your face has been all over the Malaysian press for the signing. So we were quite pleased that we managed to get some awareness of INTBAU, and that was right at the very beginning. So then, because we were new, the first thing we did was a call for membership, reaching out to our existing networks, putting it on Facebook and things, trying to explain what it was. The next thing that I did personally was a presentation at the KL Architecture Festival, where I got to sort of espouse the virtues of traditional design and architecture and building methods, which sort of didn't go down that well with the group of architecture students that were listening to me, but went down very well with a journalist who then went to write quite a long article about this. So again, it's about creating that awareness. Then we've also been involved with the Unesco Awards that were about 3 weeks ago, which is the 20th anniversary. And coincidentally, one of our directors was the first winner of that's right, isn't it? Yeah, the first winner of the award back in 1999. And so is our first big program, something that we could try and raise awareness of INTBAU, was our INTBAU weekend, and trying to sell new traditional architecture is kind of difficult in Malaysia at the moment. So we felt the best approach was to start trying to raise awareness of built heritage. So if we can get people to appreciate our built heritage, then the next step is to try and persuade them to look back at that, and why not build in the same methodology now. So we looked at regenerating historic neighborhoods. So we had 2 days of events over a weekend. So the first thing we started off in the morning was an urban sketching, which went really, really well. The idea was to reconnect citizens with their cities, their cultural built heritage. Some of the guys who are doing the sketching there. And here's an example of some of the works that they did. I was quite impressed by the work that they managed to pull off. Sorry about the quality of the photos, because these were just taken on my phone. Then we did some heritage walks also in the morning. So one of the first things was to look at the street names of KL with Mariana Issa. She's quite well known in the sort of conservation community in Malaysia. She's a historian and an architect. And then we had a look at the shophouse typology, which was a very, very interesting walk with one of our local architects. And we managed to do a little bit of shameless promotion of INTBAU. We had a banner outside, made sure everyone had their photo taken beneath the banner. And then the third walk was Fight for the Faithful, which was really interesting. So within about 500 meters or 1 kilometer of each other, you've got a church, a mosque, a Chinese temple, an Indian temple, and a Sikh temple. And so you can cover all those and look at, and it's actually very interesting because it tells you about the history of Kuala Lumpur as well. Because for example, the Indian migrants came much later than the Chinese migrants. So the Indian temples are further away from the sort of ground zero of Kuala Lumpur. And then we also had the exhibition, which you'll also be able to see a bit later on. I think it's tomorrow, is it? Sunday, the exhibition. And we had some public talks, which were pretty well attended. We had a woman called Elizabeth Cardoza, who's actually the president of the Badan Warisan, which is the National Heritage Trust in Malaysia. And Shirish Gupta, who's from INTBAU India. He did a very, very interesting talk on their charrette that they did in Pune. I learned a lot, and he's a really lovely guy. He was hoping to come to this this weekend, but unfortunately he was unable to. And so looking forward to 2020, I've still got to get it approved by Hamdan what we might be doing. But one idea that we have stolen from Alejandro is the idea of doing a directory of traditional trades and crafts, which we hope will be able to be a good resource for architects and builders in Malaysia. And over the next 1 to 2 years, we're looking at setting up a Center of Excellence in terms of heritage conservation, which is with the Aga Khan Trust for Culture and the Getty. So we hope that INTBAU would be a partner to that as well. And something that I have discussed very briefly with Harriet over email is this idea of us doing some media training, because we see this is one of the big issues, is the media actually understanding what it is that we do. So it's something that I hope that we can kick off, but then use it as a resource for the network, that in future you might be able to do something the same in your own countries. Oh yeah, last one. So in Abu Dhabi, February 8th to 13th, we have the World Urban Forum 10, and some of you will be aware that we're putting on a networking event there, not INTBAU Malaysia, but INTBAU in general. So we have some of the chapters who are very interested to be a part of that. Encourage any of the other chapters that aren't yet interested to become interested, and maybe talk to me and Harriet about taking part in that. And I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Thank you.